just take me now. I'm helpless to resist. Got me so invested in this thing. It's more than just a fling. It's more than just a fling. It's more than just a fling. I can't help that it is more than just a fling. Now I know that it's the real thing, the real thing. Take your time. I'm on a high, high. My body yearns for you to taste me. No, there's magic in your fingertips. It's magic when we kiss. I can be myself with you. Kiss me now, I insist. Make me yours, just take me now. I'm helpless to resist. Got me so invested in this thing. It's more than just a fling. It's more than just a fling. It's more than just a fling. I can't help that it is more than just a fling. Now I know that it's the real thing, the real thing.
Hi everybody! Happy Saturday! Please put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Good afternoon. Welcome to Bella's Corner, where the truth is delivered with love. Thank you so much for joining me. I greatly appreciate it. Okay, great. I see the ones. Thank you so much for coming through, you guys. I have changed the time 50 gazillion times, but we are here. Thank you for joining me, Demetrius. Salute to you, EJ. Hi, Son Moses. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Mona. Hi, Mark. Thank you for joining me. And thank you for being a channel member. Shout out to all of you for being here. Hi, B Rose. Thank you so much for joining me. Hi, Ronald. Thank you. We're going to talk about it. We are going to talk about it. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. And again, welcome to Bella's Corner. Okay. Well, I don't want to take up too much of your time. Hi, Jeffrey. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. Good to see you. Good to see everyone. I hope everyone's day is going amazing. Okay. We are going to get into it because, again, I don't want to take up too much time. And y'all know the baby is napping. So I'm going to have to roll out when he wakes up. But I want to have a talk with y'all. I want to have this conversation. Okay. Before we officially dive into it, I do have a couple clips, of the situation, which I'm sure all of you have seen, but of course, I got to put it in here as well. But I want to open up by saying this. I do not hate anyone in the party in which we are going to talk about today. I do not hate anyone. I do not fear any of them. And I give them their respect and space to do what they choose to do as adults. Okay? So everything that I'm going to say is going to be in love, but it's going to be honest. Because there is too much delusion running around through society that says that everyone should tolerate everything, no matter how unrealistic it is. It has come to a point where enough is enough. It has come to a point where, as natural women, it has come to a point where natural women must speak up, must say something. Because this has gone entirely too far. And another thing, folks in the Tea Party want everyone who's not in the Tea Party to respect their wishes, to respect what they identify as, to respect, the lifestyle choice that they've made. But I am failing to see the respect toward us. I am failing to see the respect toward natural women. You cannot have it both ways. You want us to respect you, but you don't respect us. You want us to respect you, but you call us names. You add things to what we are, such as cis. I'm not a cis. I'm not a cis woman. I am a natural woman. I am a biological woman. Again, respect has to go both ways if you expect to have respect. And I would think that as adults, we would already understand that and know that. But clearly, that seems not to be the case. Thank you for being here, Big. Thank you, you guys. Exactly. You can't be disrespectful to a certain group of people, but then when you say that you are that group of people, when you are in fact not, you play victim. It doesn't make sense. When we will begin to respect ourselves as biological women, and then support the biological women who speak up and live the truth. We have to live the truth. We have to live the truth. Enough is enough. You're right. You're right. It's okay, Mona. Okay, let's go ahead and get into it. Again, thank you for all of you being here. Right before I start chatting away.
My name is Jillian. I'm 20 years old. I'm from Canada. The highest level of education completed was high school. I decided not to go to college, and I said I'm single, right?
And then what do you do for work?
I'm a writer.
Okay. It's not for Vice though, right?
No,
Okay.
no, I saw that in the comments.
Yeah, fuck Vice. Okay. What about you?
Hi, my name is Hollywood. I'm a certified.
Ladies, always keep it classy and never trashy. All right? All right, friendly reminder. Okay, before I start chatting away, shout out to you, Mark. Thank you so much for your $5 super chat. I appreciate you. Attacking the natural while excusing the unnatural. It's backward. It's absolutely backward, and it's ridiculous. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up the infamous videos that we all have come across and seen up until this point. And we're going to talk about it. So I'm going to go ahead, pull it up for you. All right. Let's get into it.
This is what I mean when the transphobia just comes.
Hold on now. I can't hear this.
This is what I mean when the transphobia just comes
Can y'all
out.
hear that? Okay, you can't hear that. For some reason, that's odd. I can't hear on my end, but that's okay. Matter of fact, let me remove it and then add it back to the live stream. Let's see.
The audacity and just
You can't hear. That's all right. As long as you guys can hear that, I'll just play it from my phone. Y'all, I had this all set up and everything, and now it wants to act up. Of course. But that's okay. The devil is a lie. Okay. So let's go.
This is what I mean when the transphobia just comes out. The audacity and just the arrogance for cis women to believe that they own periods, that they own womanhood. You don't. Okay, you don't own periods, you don't own womanhood. You experience both, and both are different for every person, but as a cis woman, it doesn't belong to you, so you can't gatekeep it. Like, hello.
Who the fuck is gonna stand up for us? Who the fuck stands up for us? And us, I mean women, real women, biological women, women who were born with all the parts that you guys wish that you were. When does the delusion stop? What is the difference between you and someone who has been diagnosed to be mentally insane? What's the only difference is you don't have a straitjacket on. Stop talking out your fucking ass. Wake up. How are you projecting your anger on real women? Because we are the gatekeepers. We are the gatekeepers for periods. We the only one that fucking bleed, honey. We the only ones that can give birth. We make y'all people. We make y'all. Y'all come from us. You can't be us. You will never. You're chasing something you'll never, ever get. You'll never be that.
Jess said what she said. And I agree 100% through and through. I stand with Jess. Again, we are living in a world of delusion, full of delusion. It is time for us to wake up. It is time for us to say, enough is enough. It is time for us to say, this is where we draw the line. This is where natural women draw the line, including the natural women who was backing folks, men like this guy. To include the women who were backing up folks who have transitioned or who have claimed to be women. It is time for you to speak up. It is time for you to make this blurry line not blurry, opaque, because this is ridiculous. Natural women, you have to fight for yourselves because y'all are the ones who invited the vampire in. So let me tell y'all something. When I was deployed, I was gone all of 2020, right before COVID broke out. And so, you've got plenty of extra time when you're deployed, you know what I'm saying? So I found myself watching, what is it called? I can't even think of what it's called right now. It's one of those vampire shows. I cannot think of the name right now. It slips my mind. But it was on Netflix. And I distinctly remember that you had to invite the vampire in. So the vampire would show up, whether you knew it was a vampire or not, right? They would show up at the door, hello, how are you doing? And they could not come into your home unless you invited them in, unless you said, come on in. And then that's when they would step in your home. And that is when you gave them the jurisdiction to come in anytime they wanted to. They could come through a window. They could walk through the wall, or they could come and snatch up your children, your belongings. But that only happened when you invited them in, when they were invited in. Y'all invited this, ladies, natural women. So it is time for you to be the cleanup crew. It is time for you to be the cleanup women. Hold on, y'all. It is time. There is a difference between, they're saying, right? There's a difference between biological gender and gender identity, which I can generally get that, right? You were born this, but you identify as this. You were born a woman, but you identify as a man. You were born a man, but you identify as, say, a chair, a dog, a chandelier, a light bulb, a tree. Biological gender and sex refers to the anatomy and the physiological parts of the human body, whereas gender identity is influenced by a multitude of factors. And I want to say, right? I want to say that in a way, based on what I've seen, what I've heard, the gender identity is based on how you feel, right? But understand that feelings and facts don't always coincide. Feelings and facts are two different things. Feelings and facts, again, don't always mix, don't always go together. And that must be acknowledged. I don't mind you saying you feel like a woman. I don't mind you saying that you think you are a woman. However, in reality, when you bring up the facts, when you bring up the chromosomal data, it shows what or who you really are. Yes, I understand that there is such thing as intersex individuals, but that is very rare. So there is no point to even bring that up in the comments or any sort. Okay? But at the end of the day, your biology says who and what you are, male or female. Therefore, if you are a female, you cannot claim, you can identify as a male, but you cannot claim that you own ejaculation. You cannot claim that you own sperm, seminal fluid, testicles, scrotum, testosterone, even though everyone has testosterone, but as we know, males have a much higher, volume of testosterone, right? You cannot claim those things because that is not who you are. That is not what you are. A tree cannot be a flower. A cheetah cannot be a lion. A dog cannot be a cat. Okay? We have to step out of the delusion. We have to wake up. And waking up means those of you who have backed up this agenda, but you're realizing it's going too far, y'all need to be the first ones. Because again, y'all let the vampire in. Thank you so much for your $5 super chat, Eric. Only women can have a period, give birth. Shout out to Jess Hilarious. But more people need to put their foot down. I agree. Hi, Miss Janesta. Good afternoon. Thank you for being here and thank you for your super chat. I appreciate you. Hit the like button, everyone. Enough is enough. The copy can never and will not ever be the original. And that is okay. So be confident in that. But clearly, let me say this. He called natural women arrogant. He called us arrogant because we're saying that we can't have everything, because we're saying that we own womanhood and menstruation. No, that's not arrogant. That is a fact. Stop using words inappropriately to gaslight individuals, because it doesn't take away from the facts. It doesn't take away from the reality in which we actually live. Just because you live in a delusion does not mean that everyone else has to condone or live in the same delusion that you are in. That's why Jess Hilarious mentioned what's the difference between you and someone who's been diagnosed with a psychological problem, besides you not having a straitjacket on. That was her point. Stop talking out of the side of your neck. And I'm going to say this next point a few times. To my natural women, to my natural and especially my Black women, y'all need to take off these wigs. Y'all need to take off these wigs. You need to lighten up this makeup. You need to stop getting the breast implants. Y'all need to stop getting BBLs because y'all are looking like them. You are emulating them when they're trying to emulate you. Now the original is trying to look like the copy, and now y'all all looking bootleg. Wear your natural hair, sisters. Again, lighten up that makeup. Stop getting breast implants because you just want to have a larger bosom. Embrace what you have. Because again, it's hard to tell the difference between you and them now. So if you're someone who's saying, I stand with Jess, you need to pay attention to how you look. You need to pay attention to see who and what you're getting. Yes, I said who and what you're getting your beauty, pointers from. You need to step back into your femininity, back into your womanhood, back into being comfortable with you, because now these folks are calling you arrogant, are calling you tired, are calling you, disrespectful, or saying that you have a phobia. Because you've allowed them to, again, enter into your home. You've allowed them to step over a line that they shouldn't have even been looking at to begin with, or close to. Natural women don't own womanhood. Natural women don't own menstruation. Delusional. Your XX chromosomes can't be changed. Your XY chromosomes cannot be changed. Why? Because the chromosomes are in all of your cells that make up your entire body, thus making you male or female. Thus, that is your actual sex and gender, because there is no difference between the two. Hold on, y'all. It got a little ahead of me. Hold on now. This is the male anatomy. This is what males are born with. Okay? No matter, even if you get it chopped off and tucked in, you still have the male anatomy. No matter if you mutilate it, no matter, again, if it's turned inside out, this tells you who you are, what your gender is, what your sex is. This should be enough, but it's not. All right, come on now, let's go over. I should have made these a little longer. Okay, this is the female reproductive system, the female reproductive anatomy. Women, we have a uterus, we have ovaries, we have fallopian tubes, we have a vagina, we have a cervix. This is where life is held. This is where a fetus, a child, a baby is held, is safe, grows from the seed of a male and an egg of a female, traveling from her ovaries. And once it is fertilized, that is what creates pregnancy. And of course, what it embeds into the walls. Okay? This is what determines what a woman is. This is what determines whether you are a male or a female. Not how you feel. Not what you just say out of your mouth. It is something you are, not how you feel. Womanhood is not a costume. Womanhood is not, hair, makeup. Even if a natural woman isn't feminine, or even if she isn't straight, she still has ovaries. she still has a vagina. And she still has the ability, whether or not she actually can bear children, because I understand there are some women who cannot bear children for different reasons. She still has the makeup and the equipment to not only have children, but carry them and to feed them. But we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that. This is a male and a female skeletal system in the pelvic area. To the right is the male pelvic system, or, bones. This is what gives men the more narrow hips. Man's skeletal system is naturally more compact because they work, because they take hits, because they don't need to have wide hips, because they're not the ones who bear children. To the left is the female pelvic bone, which is specially and uniquely created with the purpose of bearing children, of carrying children. Y'all, I am close to having my baby, okay? And if I had a skeletal system that was set up or that looked like or was like the male skeletal system, I would not have been able to carry this long, because my pelvic bone would not be able to hold the weight that is required to carry. But women don't own menstruation. Women don't own motherhood. Women don't own natural women. Don't own womanhood. When our bodies tell us that we do. Y'all have got to wake up out of this delusion. Y'all have got to wake up from tolerating foolishness, even when you know it's wrong, even when you know it isn't fact. That says maturity. That says, again, I'm not living in a delusion. That says there's nothing going on in my head that shouldn't be. Again, live how you want to live. But this has gone too far. This is where we draw the line. All right. We're not going to talk about that quite yet. Next. Women don't own menstruation. As Jess said, we're the only ones who bleed. So, if we're the only ones who bleed, and the process of menstruation includes bleeding, and men don't bleed because they don't breed in that way, then how is it we don't own menstruation? To my gentlemen, just, bear with me, because I'm going to start talking about menstruation and things like that. For Black girls, a lot of time, Black girls typically begin their periods between the age of about maybe 7 to about 11. That's typically like the average age. So even as a child, we know and we know and we feel, and we actually go through the process of going from a child, a female, an adolescent child, an adolescent female child, to a woman. We experience that even in our adolescence by way of starting our period, even by way of beginning to grow breasts before we even start our period. In third grade and fourth grade, we begin to wear training bras. In third grade and fourth grade, we begin to maybe see a little curve starting to pop through. At that young, ripe age. And considering, sometimes our moms or grandmas then talk to us, they give us the speech, right? Hey, you may end up, you may go to the restroom and you may see something in your panties. It could be brown, it could be red. That's your period. That means you're growing up. And this is something that you're going to have every single month until you reach menopause. So for the next 30 years, you're going to bleed every single month like clockwork. And this tells you that the eggs that you were born with in your ovaries were not fertilized. And since you did not procreate, since it wasn't fertilized, those eggs shed. And so your uterus goes, let's get it out of here. And with some knives, get it out of there. And that's what causes the bleeding. The lining sheds. The lining bleeds. That's menstruation. And again, that is something that people with a uterus, women, females, natural females only go through because it is unique to the female anatomy. But we don't own menstruation. Menstruation tells us, hey, again, that egg wasn't fertilized, but don't worry, you've got another, month to either get it fertilized or not to have your eggs fertilized. Oh yeah, and by the way, along with you menstruating, along with you bleeding, you're gonna have mood swings, your back gonna hurt, you're gonna get pimples, your nipples may be a little sore, your boobs may be a little sore, but it's normal. Then menstruation turns into motherhood. Menstruation turns into motherhood. And that's where I come in. Because again, y'all have gone too far. Looking at my baby. Stay asleep, baby. Stay asleep. So by you saying that natural women don't own menstruation, you're then telling me that we don't own motherhood. And that's, as far as I'm concerned, that's blasphemy. Jess said, we create y'all. We give birth to y'all. That is something you will never, ever be able to do. And guess what? It's a fact. That's a fact. That is a fact. Y'all are too busy trying to rewrite history, reclaim and redefine things that shouldn't otherwise be claimed because that be changed rather, because at the end of the day, again, you can change a definition in the dictionary all you want, but at the end of the day, a fact is a fact. The sky is blue. There is a moon. A lion is a lion. A tree is a tree. A woman is a woman. A natural woman is a woman. A man is a man. And those things cannot be intertwined. Those things cannot be changed. Because again, your biology tells you what you are. Your chromosomes tell you what you are. And it cannot be changed. It cannot be changed. So you can get the breast implants all you want. But at the end of the day, even when a natural woman gets breast implants, she can even still breastfeed her baby. So again, menstruation turns into motherhood. And I want y'all to stick around until the end because I'm going to show you a little bit of my birth vlog of when I had my son. Just to close out the live stream. Menstruation turns into motherhood. So once the egg, during the ovulation process, right? Because we understand that the menstruation process is not just bleeding, but it's actually the entire 28 to 31 day cycle that a woman has, right? During that 28 to 31 day cycle, a woman ovulates. Ovulating, just think of it as the doors to her ovaries have opened and they've released some eggs to be caught up by sperm if she's fertilized, if she has sexual intercourse. So think of it as like, hey, we're open, we can get pregnant, let's go. During the ovulation process, the vagina gets a little wetter, her pheromones start going a little crazy, her man start looking a little extra good. She's a little extra, hungry for the peen. And it's typically a 3 to 5 day window. Her body temperature says when she's ovulating. Her vagina says when she's ovulating. But we don't own menstruation. Our body steps into gear. We don't have to force it. We don't have to get surgery. We don't have to say, okay, it's time to ovulate now, because it just does. That is what nature is. Just as the wind blows, just as a woman's body moves and works for her in terms of, reproducing children. It is natural. Again, you cannot have a surgery to create it. You cannot take a hormone to create it. You can put as much brain power as you need or want into it, and it's still not going to change. That this is what natural does. This is what a natural woman's body does involuntarily in terms of like the mind, right? Because we understand our heart beats without us having to tell it. Our blood flows throughout our body without us having to tell it. You've got involuntary things of your body and you have voluntary things of the body. Me moving my arms, this is voluntary. But again, my heart pumping is involuntary. It's automatic. Menstruation is automatic. Again, it cannot be changed. It can be altered, of course, due to environment and things of that nature. But at the end of the day, it is what it's going to be. She was a female in the womb, and so she is a female. He was a male in the womb, and so he is a female. Excuse me, he is a male. Women don't own menstruation. Menstruation turns into motherhood. So, okay, the seed, the egg is fertilized, yada, 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 right? The sperm says, okay, I like you. Okay, yeah, and the egg says, okay, I like you too. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Boop. And then the egg then goes down from the ovary, it's fertilized, and then it burrows into the cervix. The egg, the fertilized egg, burrows into the woman, and then it creates a life. It creates a child. It creates a fetus. Okay? When a woman conceives, a child, that is when her body instantly changes. Let me tell y'all. When I found out I was pregnant with my first child, I knew something was up. My period was a few days late, and me and my husband, we had a bad argument. Actually, the day before I found out I was pregnant. I was so emotional, and like literally my hormones were going crazy, and my breasts were very, very tender. And I understood, these are pregnancy symptoms. And the thing is, as a woman, since you've been going through your period since you were a child, you know the difference between what your period feels like when it's about to come on and when it's like not your period. You can tell the difference. So I definitely was suspicious. Long story short, next day I took the pregnancy test, pregnant. Things in the body changes as soon as the woman conceives. As soon as a woman conceives a child, her hair, skin, and nails begin to change. Maybe they're growing faster or aren't growing as fast. As the baby grows in the womb, a woman's internal organs begin to shift to make room for the child, right? So as y'all can see, I'm very, very pregnant, okay? Y'all see the belly? Very pregnant. My internal organs have been pushed up to the side and back to make room for the life that I am going to bring forth. But I don't own menstruation. We don't own menstruation. So we don't own motherhood. We don't own pregnancy. But we're the only ones who can do this. Again, get out of the delusion. A woman's weight changes. It increases as she goes further into the pregnancy. I started off about 115 pounds with both pregnancies. I ended up about for my first, I was about 45 pounds. A woman's body weight changes. She puts on weight. Her blood supply increases. The water in her body increases to bring life, to give nutrients to the fetus, to the baby. Her heart begins to pump even faster when pregnant, to again provide the things that the baby needs to live and to grow. Her vaginal lining becomes thicker. And her cervix plugs up with cervical mucus to protect the baby from any outside bacteria. Her vaginal discharge changes when she's pregnant. This is all to prepare the body for childbirth. This is all to keep the child safe while she's pregnant. There is a chemical called progesterone. It is otherwise known as the pregnancy hormone, right? And it gets the uterus ready for the pregnancy. That chemical is also what causes morning sickness, nausea, vomiting, headaches, heartburn, gas. These things naturally occur. But we don't own menstruation. Women don't own womanhood. Natural women don't own motherhood. When this is something that my body naturally does, without me having to tell it, without me having to get a surgery, without me having to put on makeup and a wig or take hormones. But we don't own it. Pregnancy also causes sciatica pain. This typically happens in the second, and Lord have mercy, it happens in the third trimester. And it's just nerve pain because the baby is sitting the way the baby may sit or lay within the pelvis, within the body, within the womb. It could cause what would feel like essentially like a pinched nerve. Y'all, I have sciatica pain all the time, especially with this baby. When my first, I had a little bit, but with this child, whew, my back always hurts. Sciatica pain feels like it's like a lightning bolt shooting down, say your leg, or like just like on your bun, and you even get lightning crotch. Since y'all want to be women so bad, natural women, let me tell you about lightning crotch. It's sciatica pain, but it's the lips. It's the lips. So you feel that shooting pain in your lips, your vaginal lips. It feels horrible. It hurts. But it's nowhere near what it feels like to give birth. But we don't own motherhood. We don't own womanhood. We don't own menstruation when again, menstruation turns into pregnancy. But we don't own it. Even though this is something our body naturally does. But we don't own it. You will never understand how it feels to have round ligament pain as you become more and more and more pregnant, because your abs, your abdominal muscles are continuing to spread to make room for the baby. And due to that growth of the baby, with pregnant women get pain that typically runs up here. So understand, and I hope the gentlemen are learning something real quick. Let's say these are your abs, right? When you're pregnant, the abs separate. Diastasis recti. It happens as you become more and more pregnant. And then eventually, after you have the baby and, you take care of yourself, it could come back together. It may or may not. Some women, they still have maybe like a little bit. They're still a little separated. But in general, it typically comes back. But again, the round ligament pain is from the stretching and the growth of the fetus in the womb. Because again, these organs are shifting around to make room for this life that we're going to bring forth. But we don't own menstruation. So we don't own pregnancy. We don't own womanhood. When our body can do something so miraculous, it's disrespectful. But you want to be respected, right? You want to be considered, right? But you're not even respecting me as a natural woman, not cis, a woman, a natural woman who has the equipment to bring forth life from my womb. I am a woman. You are not. You will never understand how it feels to be extra fragile as a pregnant woman because of the chemical in our pregnant woman's body called relaxin, which makes our muscles and joints and ligaments more flexible to prepare for childbirth, to prepare for our pelvis and our womb to open up and spread to give birth to you. But I don't own menstruation. Have you told your mama that she doesn't own motherhood? Have you told your mama that she don't own menstruation? Once you ask her, you tell me what she says. You tell me if she appreciates that. Tell your grandma that she don't own menstruation, that she don't own periods, that she don't own, pregnancy. When your mama or your daddy came from her womb. Tell your mama that. Tell your grandma that. Tell your auntie that. Even during pregnancy, hold on, let me back up, y'all, because y'all blowing up this chat. I'm so late. Thank you for being here, everyone. I appreciate all of you. Shout out to you, Dr. Thunder. Thank you for being here with me. Please like the video, everyone. Hi, that dude. Hey, Dave. I appreciate you so much for being here, sir. Hi, Russell. The quiet storm. I see you. What you talking about? Bella better not give birth with the bonnet on. Look, you so funny. No, I'm not giving birth with no bonnets on. It's too hot. I'm gonna be sweating too much. Even during pregnancy, the mother's, the woman's breasts begin to change in preparation to nurse, in preparation to breastfeed. And to my gentleman who has children and wives, girlfriend, whatever, who have, have your children, go ahead and give me that confirmation. But I know what I'm talking about is true because I've been through it. But even her breast change during pregnancy. If this is her first child, her nipples are going to essentially grow. They're going to enlarge. And they're going to get darker so the baby can see their food source. Because babies, newborns, come out with very limited and blurry vision. So mama's nipples again enlarge and darken so newborn can see where their food source is. Mama's breasts begin to fill up with colostrum. That is the first milk that newborn has. It's thick, it's yellow. It is what the newborn needs. It's like a super vitamin, a natural super vitamin for newborn to have. Its colostrum starts off the child's life quite well. It gives the child the essential, the health barriers that the child needs, that the newborn needs, being that baby was just in the womb. And then eventually the colostrum turns into breast milk. But even now, even in pregnancy, before baby is had, the mother's breast changes in preparation to give birth, in preparation to have child. This is natural. Again, even women who get breast implants can still breastfeed. Because she has ducts that she was born with in her breast that creates the milk. When the baby latches, it tells the ducts to release the milk, to release the food so the child can eat. And the more the child latches, the more milk the breasts make, which is why y'all see women who have young children who breastfeed or who are about to give birth. That's why their breasts begin to enlarge, because there is milk. Her body is preparing for birth, and it is also beautiful to look at, right? The woman's body is beautiful in pregnancy, especially. Pregnancy is a beautiful thing, and it is something that women do own, because these are the things that our bodies do naturally. Back to breastfeeding. When the baby latches, when the baby begins to suck from the breast, that is the sign the nerve, you can feel it, right? So it tells the brain, and then it tells the nerves, and it tells the ducts in the breast to release the milk so the baby can eat. The more the baby eats, the more milk the breast will create. When the baby is sick, the nipple can detect that, and the breast milk will change, and it will change its formula so the baby can become healthy. It's essentially like a medicine, right? A liquid gold, if you will. They say when you breastfeed for at least a year, your baby more than likely won't need additional medicines. Probably likely won't get sick because the milk, the breast, does the work for mom. Even the color of the breast milk changes depending on if the child is sick or depending on what the baby needs in that moment. This is the beauty. This is the uniqueness of womanhood. This is the uniqueness of menstruation. This is the uniqueness of menstruation turning into pregnancy, turning into motherhood, but we don't own it. Blasphemy. Disrespect. Inconsideration. And you are intolerant if you're telling me as a natural woman that I don't own something that naturally occurs within me. It's not a feeling. It is what I am. I am Womban. I am woman. I am woman. Be trans, woman, all you want. But don't sit over here telling me that I don't own something that is innate to me. That my anatomy and my biology tells me I am. That is like saying, that is like trying to tell a Rolls Royce that they're not a Rolls Royce. When you a Pontiac and you trying to tell the Rolls Royce, no, I'm a Rolls Royce. No, use a Pontiac. Use an F-150. Use a Chrysler 300. And be okay with that. Be okay with that. If you were so secure about who you are and what you are, you wouldn't be trying to tell the folks who you're trying to emulate that we are not what we are. It doesn't make sense. It literally doesn't make any logical sense at all. Happy Sabbath, Bria. I am woman. We're almost done, y'all. And I appreciate y'all for listening and for being here with me. You cannot tell me that I am not a woman. You cannot tell me that I do not own menstruation. You cannot tell me that I am not a woman or can't claim this, can't claim that, that is actually associated with my anatomy and biology. Natural women do own menstruation, excuse me. Women do own, natural women do own periods, menstruation, motherhood. We do. You can't change it. You can't change it. You can look like the part, kind of, but you are not. And let me say this because I said this at the beginning of the stream. Ladies, especially to my sisters, to the Black women, take these wigs off. Lighten up this makeup. Stop it with all the yes, bitch, yes. Stop it. It's time to step back into your natural self. Because it's beginning It's hard to tell between you and them. You're wearing the same wigs they wearing. You're doing your makeup the same way they're doing their makeup. Y'all wearing the same clothes. Y'all are hanging out together. Y'all are picking up on each other's mannerisms and things of that nature. Throw it away. Stop it. Let it go. So that way, society can truly distinguish the difference between the Adam's apples and the real breasts. Ladies, it's time to stand up. It's time to say something. It's time to draw the line. Thank you for being here, Daryl. Oh, Mona, by the way, I made you a, what is it? Not the standard moderator. I made you like the moderator who could do a little bit more stuff, just so you know. So you have the authority to do your thing. Okay. It's time to stand up, ladies. Natural women. Because we have to stop living in delusion. We have to start respecting ourselves. Because now you've got men who want to be women disrespecting you and telling you that you're not a woman. And they're gaslighting you, and they're calling you arrogant, and they're trying to call you, T-phobic, and they're giving you all these different types of names because you, again, let the vampire in. So you have to perform some damage control. You need to put on your cape, since y'all love caping for foolishness. It's time for you to put your cape on, ladies, and fix the damage that has been caused by your tolerance. But really, it was by your lack of standards, by your lack of boundaries. Because women do own womanhood. Natural women do own womanhood. We own womanhood. We own motherhood. We own pregnancy. We own menstruation. That is the facts. So, I want to end this stream by showing you a little bit of my birth vlog. My birth vlog is on my YouTube channel. I'm just gonna have to scroll down just a little bit past my femininity content, and you'll see it. I gave birth to my first child natural, and I'm gonna have this one natural as well. No epidural, none of that. And I had contractions. I felt those contractions. Okay, they real. They are real. But it's not like the movies. The movies make it a little bit more dramatic than what it actually is. Contractions come in waves. It's not just like, screaming until you have the baby. No. The pain comes and goes. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Once I get to a point where... And feel free to go ahead and watch my birth vlog after this. I see your comment, Mona. Yes, I am. Similarly to my first child, yes, I am going to document it, and I will put it together for you guys and share it. Share my birth vlog with you. Okay, so we were in the birthing suite. at a birth center. I gave birth at a birth center. I'm trying to turn this music off. And I ended up having my baby in water in the bathtub. And it was great. Sitting in the tub truly helped relieve my contraction pain. It relieved some pressure. So let's go ahead and check this out just a little bit.
Keep it quilted means you keep it the best.
Shout out to the ads. We're gonna fast forward, y'all. Ooh, I was starting to get a little emotional. It was taking me back, but yeah, like I said, feel free to watch the rest of it or the whole thing. It is on my channel, but this is what woman do. The women who own womanhood, the women who own menstruation, the women who own pregnancy. This is what we can do. Stop the cap, stop the disrespect, because it's all a delusion. You give me respect and I'll give you respect. But don't sit up here telling me that I, that we, that natural women do not own things that are innate to our nature, that are innate to what we were created to do, which was to bring forth people through our womb with a man's seed being planted into our garden. That's why we are called Mother Earth. And you shall never hold that title because you are not that. And that is okay. I am woman. Let me catch up on these comments really quick before we exit out the live stream. Again, I appreciate all of you for being here. Please like the video. Please like the video. Hi, Aaron. Thank you for joining. Hey, El Nixon, I appreciate you. Let me see what Miss Janesta has for me. Question. Bella Rings have a nickname for her chat. That's so sweet you are sharing this, young lady, Bella Rings. I don't, not yet. I think I'm going to put up a poll, Miss Janesta, to ask you guys what you want to be called. Real Bravado Network said, what did he say? He said the Bella Army. Yeah, the Bella Army. And then one other person, I think maybe it was Game Dreamer or someone else who was in my live stream last night. They said the Bella Knights. No, the Bell Knights or something like that, which was so funny and so creative. So no, don't have a name yet, but it's coming. That's why Just Hilarious said, we give birth to y'all. Because we do. Because we do. But yeah, y'all, that's all I have for you. Oh, let me go ahead and read, the super chat from Mona. Mona says, this is amazing and beautiful. Thanks for sharing your birth story with us, Bella. Well, thank you for being here, Mona. And thank you. I just wanted to make a point. Because how can you expect respect when you're not giving it? It has to go both ways. And we already know that women, trans men, they don't go around saying that they're like legit men and things of that, because men aren't going for that. Men have gate-kept manhood, but women have not. And this is where we are now. Okay, y'all, look, I'm going to make a poll. And if if there aren't any, if you guys don't like the options, of course, comment what you think it should be. Because now y'all want a name, so we're going to make it work. But yeah, I'm not going to take too much more of your time. I appreciate all of you for being here and, walking through this class with me. But I felt like I needed to say something, because enough is enough. I have drawn a line in the sand. And I encourage you ladies to do the same, because this is not a man's fight. You cannot blame men for this. This is our fight. This is something that we shouldn't even be here. We shouldn't even be at this point right now, but we are. So I encourage you to draw strength and be empowered and being confident in who you are as a woman. Because being a woman is unique. Being a woman is beautiful. But you don't see a tiger walking into a lion's den telling the lion that they're a lion. No, you're a tiger. Stay in your lane. Have some respect. Go back over there. Do what you do. Do what your nature commands you to do. Don't be over here trying to have your spoon all up in my bowl of cereal. I am woman. That's all I have for you today, everybody. Thank you for being here with me. The truth has been signed, sealed, and delivered by yours truly. If you like the content you see, then please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to turn on that notification bell so you don't miss any of my new uploads or when I go live. And please, if you know of any girls or young women who you think would benefit from this information, then please share. And until next time, I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.